You know, the world is just full of secrets, hiding in places we'd never think to look. We walk past them every single day, completely unaware of the power and potential that's literally growing right under our feet. But every now and then, science gives us a reason to stop and take a much closer look. All right, let's get into it. Our story today is all about one of those secrets. It's a wild edible plant, and its scientific name is Pouzolzia hirta. Now, this isn't some fancy plant you'd find in a garden store, but what's inside it is a story of some serious nutritional wealth. And here it is. I mean, at first glance, it doesn't look like much, does it? Just a humble little plant, thriving out in the wild. For ages, plants just like this one have been part of local traditions and meals, but their true, scientifically proven potential, well, that's remained a mystery. And that's the exact question that kicks off a real scientific adventure. What if this ordinary-looking plant was anything but ordinary? What secrets were locked away deep inside its biology, just waiting for someone to find the key?
I mean, it's a story as old as we are, right? People have always turned to nature for food and for healing. But the cool thing is, now we have the tools to go from just knowing something works to understanding exactly why it works. We can literally peer inside these plants and see what makes them so special.
So this brings us to the heart of it all, the scientific mission. A team of researchers decided to put Pouzolzia hirta under the microscope, both figuratively and literally. So they had a really clear game plan. First, just figure out its basic nutritional value. Second, get super specific and map out its amino acid profile. Those are the fundamental building blocks of protein. And then the ultimate test. See how its protein quality stacks up against the official benchmarks from the World Health Organization.
And with that, the journey begins. The plant samples were taken from the wild and brought into the super clean, super controlled world of a modern lab. This is where guesswork ends and precise measurement begins, and where the plant's secrets are finally about to be revealed.
The whole process is incredibly methodical. It all starts with carefully collecting and prepping the plant's rhizomes. That's kind of like its root system. Then, using an extraction process, they isolate all the important compounds. And finally, those compounds get run through some seriously sophisticated machines to get an exact reading of what's inside.
Now, one of the star players here is this machine called an amino acid analyzer. And what's so cool about this thing is its focus. Its only job is to take a sample, break it down into all the individual amino acids, and then measure each one with pinpoint accuracy. It's the key to truly understanding protein quality.
So after all that painstaking work, what you get isn't just a boring spreadsheet of numbers. Oh no, it's much more like a unique chemical fingerprint, one that tells the entire nutritional story of this amazing little plant.
And this is basically what that fingerprint looks like. I know it might just seem like a bunch of peaks and valleys on a graph, but to a scientist, every single one of those spikes is a specific amino acid showing up to be counted. It's a visual map of everything that makes up the plant's protein.
So, let's talk about what that map actually showed. Because, honestly, the results were pretty amazing. They painted a picture of not some humble little weed, but a real nutritional powerhouse. The analysis confirmed the plant was just packed with all sorts of amino acids, many of which are absolutely vital for our health. We're talking serious amounts of alanine, glycine, leucine, lysine, the list goes on. But hey, having them is one thing. The real question is about quality. And that, right there, is the million-dollar question. It's awesome that the plant has all these things, but do they actually measure up? How does its protein quality compare to the gold standard, the one set by the world's top health experts for human nutrition?
Well, the answer from the study is just crystal clear. And I'm going to read this right from the paper because it says it all. According to the WHO reference protein, the highest quality plant proteins were found in Pouzolzia hirta. It scored at or above the score of the WHO standard for 5 of 7 amino acids. I mean, that is just a fantastic result.
And what's so cool here is you can see the numbers for yourself. Just look at threonine. The WHO standard is a 4, but this plant clocks in at over 18. Or check out leucine and lysine. Both are nearly double the standard. This isn't just meeting the goal, it's blowing right past it.
So the takeaway here, the big number to remember is this one, 5 out of 7. For 5 of the 7 essential amino acid groups they measured, this little wild plant either met or smashed the global standard for high-quality protein. That's a top-tier score, no question about it.
So when you put all the pieces together, the findings really make you rethink the world around us. They show us just how much untapped potential nature is holding, often in the last places we'd ever think to look. The conclusion is just so simple and powerful. That humble, wild plant, the one most of us would walk past without even noticing, is a certified powerhouse of high-quality protein.
So why does all this matter so much? Well, for a few huge reasons. It shines a light on the incredible value that could be hiding in all sorts of other overlooked wild plants. It points us towards new, sustainable protein sources for everyone. And, maybe my favorite part, it uses the power of modern science to prove what traditional knowledge might have known all along.
Which really just leaves us with one last kind of amazing thought. If a plant like this can hold such a huge nutritional secret, well, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other incredible discoveries are out there, just hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to ask the right questions?